This episode of The Young Turks is brought to you by Jack Threads.
Yesterday, in a conference call, Joe Biden came in to sort of lend his support to labor. He was on a conference call with Hilda Solis. It was run by the AFLCIO, this conference call, so it was a labor conference call. I think they had as many as 100,000 people on the phone. At least that's what they claimed. But anyway, here is, and Joe Biden, because Joe Biden may have some talking points, but then you get the vice president going, and Joe Biden got into it. And finally, some would argue too late. I don't think that anything that the Obama administration could have done would have stopped Governor Walker in Wisconsin. Probably nothing, but we don't know. But fight would have mattered. But nonetheless, Joe Biden yesterday in a conference call with a little fight, and you get the impression he went off script, and Joe Biden always more entertaining when he goes off script.
Here's the irony of all of this. I find this ridiculous. The very philosophy, the very conservative people who got us in this ditch, who created through their greed this orgy of focusing on the super wealthy and Wall Street without regulation, the very people who drove us into this ditch are now the people using you guys as the scapegoats. This is what you call blaming the victim. The people in the neighborhoods we all grew up in and you guys live in, organized labor, they're the very people getting killed right now by this economy. And the audacity of these guys to come along and say, hey, this is the fault of collective bargaining. That is malarkey.
It's a pretty good day when the vice president uses the word malarkey and Congressman Anthony Weiner says, kudos to you, Republicans, for defunding NPR. A couple other things that Joe Biden said. This was a virtual town hall conversation hosted by the AFL-CIO. And again, Hilda Solis was on the call, as was Richard Trumka. He's the president of the AFL-CIO. So Biden said that you guys built the middle class, talking to workers, organized labor. You guys built the middle class. I would just emphasize what Hilda Solis said and say it slightly different. We don't see the value of collective bargaining. We see the absolute positive necessity of collective bargaining. That's the kind of thing that during this debate in Wisconsin would have been nice to hear the president or Joe Biden say.
Jack Threads is a new sponsor for TYT. They're a members-only online shopping club, but because you know us, you're going to get in. Aren't we cool? But here's a key part to it, 80% off. Hello, up to 80% off of some of the top apparel lines in the country. Game over.
Right.
So go to jackthreads.com/TYT because it's free to join, and you get all those discounts, and you avoid the pain in the ass. The ending of this commercial is a little schwang wang wang.